Hello! Today we're going to be making Star and Moon Boba in a night sky drink. The first thing we need to do is brew some butterfly pea flower tea. If you don't have any, I'll have a link in the description below where you can buy some. Just note I do receive small commissions for that purchase. Once our water has finished boiling, we're going to go ahead and add some butterfly pea flowers. Let this brew until it takes on a really nice deep blue color. Then I'm going to pour some into that hexagon ice mold, as well as put the rest in the fridge for later. For the Star and Moon Boba, here are the ingredients you'll need for the dough. This recipe is based on Taiwanese tapioca boba. First, we're going to add water to a pot on low heat. Then we'll add a tablespoon of sugar. Usually it's brown sugar, but I'm using white sugar so I can have some white moons later on. Stir until the sugar is completely dissolved before adding tapioca starch. Now here, I'm going to stir in the tapioca starch till it's completely incorporated, and then I'm going to raise the heat a little bit and just let it sit. So now that it's all stirred in, we're just going to let it sit for a minute on medium-low. Keep a close eye on it. You want to see when it starts to get sticky. So you can see it's getting sticky on the bottom here. I'm going to keep stirring it now until the entire mixture is completely sticky. Once you get this texture, turn off the heat and add the rest of your tapioca starch. Fold this in until a dough forms. Now we'll take this over to a work surface and knead it until smooth. It shouldn't be sticky. If it's sticky, just add more tapioca starch. Now I'm going to separate this into two because I want two colors. I want gold stars and white moons. This edible luster dust is really going to make them sparkle. I'll have a link to the ones I use in the description below, but you could just use yellow and white food coloring. But yes, you do have to use white food coloring. Even though the dough looks white, it'll cook clear. So make sure you add some color to that as well. Now knead the colors in till they're nice and even, and we're going to start cutting. I like to use these little fondant cutters because they make it really easy. I can just push the stars out. I also have a little moon cutter, but it doesn't have a pusher, so I'll have to use a chopstick to push that one out. Now we're going to cut a whole bunch of these. Keep cutting until you have no dough remaining. Once they're all punched out, you can coat them in tapioca starch if they're sticking, but mine are not sticking at all, so I skipped that step. Look at how cute they look. Now we're going to take these over to a pot of boiling water, pour them in, and they should start to float. Lower the heat and cook covered for 10 minutes, then take off the heat and let it sit for 10 more minutes. Now we can check on them. If you see some parts are undercooked, go ahead and just cover it and leave on the stove. Mine looked done, so I went ahead and drained and rinsed in cold water. You can also add honey or sweetener at this time. Before we make the drink, I just wanted to show what it looked like in some water. And here's why I like to use the luster dust. You can see the sparkle in the moon and the star. For the drink, I prepared some lemon juice and simple syrup, as you can see in that little jar, but you could just use some lemonade. I am going to add some luster dust. This is what's going to give the drink the sparkle. Now the step is optional, but it makes it look really good. And now we're ready to make our drink. I'm going to add my boba first, then we're going to add our butterfly pea flower tea ice, the butterfly pea flower tea, and in an attempt to layer, I'm going to pour the lemon juice on the back of a spoon, and the lemon juice will react with the butterfly pea flower tea to create a purple effect. And please ignore the dirty dishes in the background, but here's proof that it does go up the straw. Let me know if there's any ideas you want to see me try. Now, I do like to make really cool drinks, but I am looking to branch out into some other things. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks! Bye!